Hey everyone, I am Suman from Nika Technologies. Welcome to our official YouTube channel. Today we learn about JavaScript basic tutorials. If you are new to the JavaScript or looking for a refresher, you are in the right place. In this video, we'll go through the key JavaScript concepts using real life examples, making it easy to understand. Now let's start with the variables. In JavaScript, variables are like boxes or containers where you can store values such as numbers, strings, or even more complex data. You can think of like storing your favorite item in a box so you can access it whenever you need it. Here I am creating one variable called favorite color. Let favorite color equal to blue. Console.log favorite color. Here, let favorite color equal to blue. This creates a variable named favorite color and store the value blue in it. Console.log favorite color. This prints the value of the variable to the console showing blue. Here we have created a variable called name favorite color and assigned it the value blue. We can access this value later or even change it when we need to. Simple, right? Now let's talk about functions. Functions in JavaScript are like recipes. You define them once and then you can use them whenever you want. It's a way to reuse the code without having to write it over and over again. Let me give you an example. Imagine you are making a cup of tea. You have a recipe for making a cup of tea. Here I am creating one function, make tea. Inside that I am printing some statements like console.log boil water, console.log steep the tea bag, console.log pour into a cup, and I am calling the function make tea. Here function make tea, this defines a function named make tea which contains a set of instructions. Here make tea is a function that give you a set of instructions to make tea. When you call a make tea, it runs the code inside it. Simple. Next, let's talk about conditionals. A conditionals is used to make decisions based on certain conditions, much like choosing between two options. In life, we often have to make decisions based on certain conditions. Let's say we want to decide if we should go outside based on the weather. In JavaScript, we do this using if statements. Here I am creating a variable called weather and I'm storing a value rainy inside it. Let weather equal to rainy and I'm creating one if else loop. If weather equal to sunny, console.log go for a walk. Else console.log stay inside. If weather equal to sunny, this checks the weather variable is equal to sunny. If the condition is true, like sunny weather, you go for a walk. If it's false, like it's rainy weather, you stay inside. It's a decision making process. Now, let's talk about loops. What if you need to do something repeatedly, like sending invitations to your friends? That's where loops comes in handy. A loop allows you to repeat a block of code multiple times. It's useful when you need to perform the same action for multiple times. Let me show you an example. You need to send invitations to all your friends. Here I am creating one array called friends. Let friends equal to Alice, Bob, Charlie, and I am creating one for loop. For let I equal to 0, I less than friends dot length, I plus plus. Inside that console.log send invitations to friends of I. Let friends Alice, Bob, Charlie. You have list of friends. For let I equal to 0, I less than friends dot length, I plus plus. The loop goes through each friend in the friends array. Console.log send invitation to plus friends of I. For each friend, it prints a message to send them an invitation. This loop, this loop goes through each friend in the list and send them an invitation. So instead of writing the same line of code multiple times, we used loop to repeat the action automatically. Next up are arrays. An array is a collection of items stored in an ordered way. We can store multiple values in one variable. Think of it like a shopping list where each item is an element of the array. Let me show you an example. You have a shopping list. Let grocery list equal to milk, eggs, bread, apples. It's an array of grocery list. Console.log grocery list of 0 prints the milk. Console.log grocery list of 2 prints bread. Grocery list of 0. This accesses the first item in the list. In this case, the grocery list array stores 4 items and you can access them using their index. Remember, arrays are 0 indexed, so the first item is at index 0. Now, let's talk about objects. Objects are great when you need to store related piece of information. An object is a collection of related data or properties. It's like a container that holds multiple values that describe a specific thing. It's like a contact card that holds multiple details of a person. Instead of creating separate variables, we use an object to store everything together. Here's an example. You store details about a contact. A contact card contains a name, phone, number, and email. Instead of creating separate variables, we use an object to store all this related information. Here I am creating one object of contact. Let contact equal to, it consists of name John Doe, phone 123456789, email john at example.com. Console.log contact.name access the name property of the contact object. Console.log contact.email access the email property of the content object. In this case, the contact object stores the name, phone, and email of a person. You can access each property using contact.name, contact.email, etc. Next are events. In JavaScript, events are actions like clicking a button or pressing a key. You can use events to make your website interactive. Let's look at a button click example. Think of a doorbell. When you press it, the bell rings. In JavaScript, events allow us to make web pages interactive, like responding to the button clicks, responding when a button is clicked. Let button equal to document.querySelector of button. Button.add event listener click comma function. Console.log button was clicked, and in the HTML I added a button using button tag. Here button.add event listener click comma function. This tells the browser to listen for a click event on the button. When the button is clicked, it logs the message button was clicked to the console. Next is arrow functions. Arrow functions provide a more concise way to write functions in JavaScript. Arrow functions give us a shorter way to write functions. It's a cleaner syntax and saves us some typing, especially for simple operations. Here's an example. You want to add two numbers. Let add equal to a comma b arrow function a plus b. Console.log add 3 comma 4. Let add equal to a comma b arrow function a plus b. This is an arrow function that adds two numbers a and b. Add 3 comma 4. This calls the function with 3 and 4 as the arguments and returns 7. The add function adds two numbers and using an arrow function makes it more concise. It's quicker and looks neat. Next is promises. A promise represents a value that might not be available yet but will be in the future. It's often used for operations that take time, like fetching data from a server. A promise represents a task that might not be completed but will be eventually. Here is an example. Imagine ordering food online. You order food and the delivery service promises to deliver it in 30 minutes. You don't wait in the restaurant. Instead, they promise to deliver. In JavaScript, promises work similarly. handling the tasks that take time. Let food order equal to new promise, resolve, comma reject. Let food ready equal to true. Here you are creating a new promise using the new promise constructor. Inside the constructor, you pass a function with two parameters, resolve and reject. These are the functions used to either fulfill or reject the promise respectively. You declare a variable food ready and set it true, which is used to simulate whether the food is ready or not. Next, the condition. If food ready, resolve food is on the way. Else, reject food is not ready. If food is ready, which it is in the case, the promise is fulfilled using the resolve function. This means the operation was successful and you provide a message food is on the way. If food ready were false, the promise would be rejected using the reject function and you would provide a message food is not ready. So in this case, since food is true, the promise will be resolved and the message food is on the way will be passed to the resolve. Handling the promise resolutions. Food order dot then message console.log message dot catch error console.log error. Food order is the promise that you created earlier. Dot then this method is called when the promise is fulfilled or resolved. It, it takes a callback function that gets executed if the promise is successful. The message passed to the resolve, that is, food is on the way, will be available as an argument to this function and it will be logged to the console. Dot catch. This method is called when the promise is rejected. It takes a callback function that gets executed if the promise fails. The error passed to the reject, that is, food is not ready, will be available as the argument to this function and it will be logged to the console. And that's the wrap up. We have covered variables, functions, loops, arrays, objects, events, and more. I hope these examples helped you to understand JavaScript better. If this video was helpful, don't forget to hit the thumbs up, share the video, subscribe for more tutorials. Keep learning and stay tuned for more videos. Thank you.